In this section, we're going to open up our code editor and explore our newly created project. So I'm going to start up my code editor. I'm making use of Visual Studio Code. You can use absolutely any code editor you want inside this course. So free to use Atom or Sublime or Eclipse or whatever it might be. I would not say that any one editor is better than another for working on React projects. In addition, in this course, you and I are not going to ever depend upon some editor-specific feature in order to get through the course. So again, feel free to use absolutely any editor you want. Once I have my editor open, I'm then going to open up my project directory. So here's my newly created JSX folder right here. Now inside this folder, you'll notice that we have a couple of different files and folders. These are all automatically generated for us when we just made our project. I want to take a look at some of the different files and folders here and get a better idea of what they all do. All right, so just a couple of things we'll go over rather quickly. First off, you'll notice the SRC directory. SRC stands for source. If you open up that folder inside of your code editor right now, you'll see that there's already a couple of different files inside of here. Again, these are all automatically generated by Create React App. Over time, you and I are going to add more and more code to this SRC directory. In general, we're usually going to delete these automatically generated files inside of here, just so you can understand how to set up a React project from complete scratch. Now, of course, we're still going to use the Create React App kind of framework in general, but we will not use any of the automatically generated code inside of here. Now, the next directory is the public directory. The public directory right here is going to contain different static files. An example of a static file might be an HTML file that never changes, or an image, or maybe a music, or any other thing that we might want to serve up from our application. We'll get a better sense of what we use the public directory for throughout this course. Next is the Node Modules directory. Node Modules contains all of the different dependencies that were installed into our project. So this consists of those 1,782 dependencies that you just saw at your terminal a moment ago. Every one of these different folders inside of here represents a different dependency. You can scroll through this list and get a sense that, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on inside of here. Now, in general, you and I are never going to have to manually go into the Node Modules directory. It just kind of exists here, and we don't really worry about it too much. Next up is the package.json file. The package.json file right here lists out all the different dependencies that our project requires, and it also has a little bit of project configuration inside of it. Over time, you and I are going to do several updates to the package.json file. Next, a very similarly named file, package.lock.json. So here's package lock right here. This file records the exact version of all of the dependencies that we installed into our project. So inside the package lock, you'll see this dependencies section right here. And if you scroll down, you'll see that there are a tremendous number of records. Again, this consists of the 1,782 different dependencies that we installed into our project. And then there's the README file. The README file has some directions in it to tell you how to run this Create React App generated project. And so if you want to, you could definitely take a look at what's inside of here, but in general, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. Now there's one last file inside of here, the git-ignore file. The git-ignore file is a reference to the Git version control system, and it essentially lists out the different files and folders that Git should ignore if it's going to be tracking our project and maintaining a record of all the different changes we're making to our code base. Okay, so that's it. That's what we get by default when we generate a project with Create React App. Now let's take a quick pause right here. When we come back to the next section, we're going to finally start writing out some code inside of our SRC directory and getting a better idea of how JSX works. So quick pause, and I'll see you in just a minute.